Have you ever seen Ted Lasso?
I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
Okay, I get compared to Ted Lasso quite a lot because I'm uber positive.
I have to watch it now.
And also, slightly, he has a mustache, don't have a mustache. Anyway, he talks about how you need to be a goldfish. And he says the reason because goldfish are the happiest animals because they have like a 10-second memory, 15-second memory span. So if you do something wrong, they just completely forget about it and move on. It's like this, that's swimming away happily. So it's all about being a goldfish or be a goldfish. And so we did that. We were a goldfish. We completely forgot about the mistakes we made. Right, sound. Let's go out and let's read and learn and ask people about how they hire. And we did. And now I'm happy to say we hire some incredible people. And we've got the balance of, like you said, doing the anti-sell. Like, by the way, it's going to be tough for a startup. It's going to be long days, long hours. You have to do jobs that perhaps are out of your remit. But also at the same time being like, but the opportunity is incredible. The opportunity is fantastic. You know, that was our experience of hiring.
Who was the first hire that you made, and are they still with you today?
I can't say the name, but no.
Okay.
No.
Did it last long?
You know what? Lasted longer than it should have done. Yeah, it did.
Okay, right. Okay.
It did. And you know what? It was on both sides. I think we weren't in the position that we weren't set up to support that person in terms of what they wanted to do. It was a marketing hire, and we weren't experienced in terms of hiring, which I know sounds ridiculous because that's what I do every single day and have done for years.
Yeah.
But when you're hiring for yourself, it's completely different.
It's a different world in those early days because you don't have any appreciation of what someone needs to come in and perform. Yeah, we had a similar story. So we went out to hire our first, because we started the business and we were all techies. And then we went, right, let's go and hire someone in sales. So we hired someone into sales who was new to sales because that's at the time what we could really afford. And they came in and obviously they need like some help, coaching, guidance, some direction. And we didn't know it. Just go out and sell. But that does not work. As far as a techie, because you come from a business with a sales team and they're out there selling all the time and they've been doing that for years. And it's got all the management, all the structure, all the governance, all the systems. You start a business and it's like, yeah, come on. What do you mean you can't sell? And that was a massive learning experience. So we just hired techies until we hired someone in sales eventually.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, I think that is a tough one, isn't it? Hiring someone who doesn't do the same job as you. Yeah. That's exactly what because we didn't know what to look for. So can you use Canva? Great. You're hired.
Yeah. Candidate number one.
Perfect.
So that you hired your first person or, attempted to hire and get it right. And at this point, there's still the three of you.
Yeah.
What was the biggest sort of turning point in the early stages? What was the sort of activity? Was it just a compound effect of small matters over time, or was it that actually one particular defining moment is what led to a catapulting success in the early days?
There was no particular moment. It just, we were always good at recruitment. And I know that sounds so like vague, but we were just really, really good at recruitment. And we did that. And then we realized that, okay, well, there's a process there that we follow that makes us that good at recruitment in terms of finding candidates. We just formalized that process basically and then taught that to the people that work at Tact, and we continuously iterate on it. I mean, the process we had back then is not the process we have now. It's completely different. And we welcome, again, feedback from people who are doing it day in, day out. Like, have you tried this? Have you maybe tried this to make it more efficient? As a part of the sourcing process that we've missed, maybe we should try that out and see if that works. We're not scared to change what we're doing consistently in terms of our process. And I think sometimes people are like, oh God, that's going to be such a ball ache trying to change that because we've already got the processes in place. And then and now as we're getting bigger, to get everyone to do this new style of doing something, it's going to be, but it's always going to be like that. And I think you just need to pull the plaster off. And I think as long as people understand that that's the kind of business they're in, where things are going to change consistently, then it shouldn't be that much of a hassle. But yeah, there was no defining moment. I think we saw what other recruitment agencies were doing and then did the opposite. And it's worked. And that's the reason that, we're not kind of lumped in with these other agencies that have a really bad name in the market or who are glorified, call center staff who don't really understand what candidates want or the tech market. Yeah.
It's interesting because I think what people these days get sort of sidetracked by is that actually many businesses have been going for years and years and years. And it's a prolonged period of hard effort that results in this behemoth of a business at the end of it all often. And there's very few times like an individual event. Well, there are in some cases, but that's a rarity. It's rare that there is a significant event that leads to like an enormous amount of growth. It's not just like we worked really hard for a period of years, getting better and better and better. And that's what led to the success. And I haven't spoke to anyone yet that's like, just overnight this thing happened. That was that. So it's nice to hear.
Yeah, there's a great author called Shane Parrish, and he runs a blog called the Farnham Street blog. I think he's mentioned in Almanac of Naval. I'm going to butcher the last name, but I think people will know what I mean. Shane Parrish is mentioned in that, and he's big on like mental models and stuff like that. But there's a really good quote, and he talks about how a lot of success can just be boiled down to doing really, really boring things for an extraordinary amount of time.
I've heard something similar before. Is that? Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Just come in and do the mind numbing stuff every day, and just keep getting a little bit better and better, and over time that reaps the rewards.
Yeah,
and it's like one thing I refer to in like a podcast I listen to is being a landing zone for luck or a landing pad for luck.
Ooh.
So just making yourself available for luck to happen, because I think a lot of stuff in business it probably is a little bit of luck, and just being available to be lucky.
Yeah, like that.